This is going to be focusing on the exterior cover of the book, and I'm going to be creating a cover in Canva so you can see what that looks like and how to put it together and what dimensions to use, and then how to apply that to BookWright, as well as I'm going to do the title page and a couple of other little intro pages, and so you can decide what you want your intro pages for your book to look like as well. And if we have not met before, hi, my name is Lynn. I'm a homeschooling mom of 4, and I want to be your homeschooling bestie. It is my goal to help make homeschooling easy for everyday moms and dads. So let's jump in. When I open BookWright, it has my books that I have created in the past. And so I'm going to open the book from this year. And then on the left-hand side, you can see I've got all of my project stuff here. What I need to do is I need to create these documents that go on the inside of the book. And so I have some Google Docs. The first one, I am just going to type it myself. And my layout is going to be just text. And I'm going to click on here, and I am just going to put it in myself. This is going to be quicksand 40. I can't tell if that is double spaced. I'll say it's double spaced and see how it looks. And I am going to center 2025 short story anthology. Okay, I'm noticing right now that the previous years was smaller. Yep. I'm going to take it down to 20. I'm going to center horizontals, center vertically, short story anthology, and I'm going to put classical conversations, challenge B. So you can just type right in here. I actually don't like the 2.0 spacing. Why do I feel like that did not? Yep, I'm going to take it down to 1. That's what it looks like I have in my previous book. Okay, that is just like a little index page. Next one is my letter to my class. There we go. To my dear class. Okay. This is my letter that I like to put in there. So I'm just going to double check. I already said step at once, and I cannot wait to see you thrive. Okay. Perfect. I am going to download this now as a rich text document. And this is going to go to my short stories, and it is called To My Dear Class. Okay, I will go back to BookWright, and I will add a file to my dear class. Okay, I need to add my layouts. So I'm going to get both of those and go to my text file, and I'm going to drag this here, and I am going to center and center. Why is it not aligning? Left align, center align, right align. Oh, it's only moving the bottom one. Okay, let me try highlighting it. Center. There we go. And I think I want to put my name in a different font. Let's find something that looks like a signature. By the way, since I'm looking at scripts right now, there are some scripts that it is illegal to print in because you have to actually pay for them. Oh, perfect. There we go. I'm going to use that one. And so they will let you know. I tried to print in a couple of different scripts before, and BookWright told me you can't print in this script. So they will correct you and make sure you're using an appropriate font. That's why they don't have all the fonts in there. Okay, next we need to add the table of contents. So I am going to go back to the web page. I'm going to search table of contents. Here we go. This is one I set up from a previous year. So I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to replace the title, Hard Work for a Purpose. Yes, excellent. You can see I literally just tabbed the page number over, and it did start on page 5. So let's see, the next one is over here. Okay, next story is here, page 21, and it is called Help. Okay. I'm going to come back here. Help. Oh, that's funny. Page 21, they're the exact same. Okay, next story is right here, page 35. Peely is, put that in, and this is page 35. Okay, the next story is Hireth. That, and make sure I spelt that correctly. Hiraethat. Okay, and this is page 51. 51. Okay, next story, The Rescue, page 65. All right, the next story is Rivera, page 75. Page 75. Henry's Bite, page 91. Oh, 91. I think that was the exact same. Yep. Okay. Come to Me, page 97. The next story is Extraction Point, page 111. Oh, funny, 111 again. That is so bizarre. How many times we've gotten the exact same page numbers. Okay, A World Without Color, page 119. Page 119. And the next story is The End, page 135. I think I've got another one. Next story is Tire Wars, page 147. 147. Do I have another story? Nope, that's it. Okay, so I'm going to take those extra enters out that I did because that'll mess up the spacing. All right, now I've got my table of contents. So I am going to download this again as rich text and short stories. Save. I'm going to go back over to BookWright and I'm going to add the file, table of content. Okay, scroll back up to the top and my table of content goes right here. No, that's the wrong one. So if you pull the wrong one in, just grab the correct one and drop it in place. Effect. Okay, I'm gonna do this just for 1 second. That is Laura, size 12. This is Quicksand, size 20. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted it. Okay, that looks beautiful. Now I've got all of our intro pages. I am honestly just waiting for those 2 things from the students, and I need to create the cover art. So I'm going to use a different program for that. So I want to save this document, otherwise it will not save. I'm going to close out of that. I am going to create the book cover in Canva. You can go to this circle, create new project, custom size. This is where you're going to do 5,000 is the width and 3,000 pixels is the height. We're going to create a new design. And essentially what I did was I added some text. And so I'm going to grab some text here. I used body text and I'm just going to type in here for a minute all of the words and shrink this down. There we go. And I just adjusted this to about the size I wanted. There we go. Okay. So as I'm pulling this out, you can see they've got this guideline, this interior kind of box. I tried to stay within those boundaries in order to make sure I had enough margin around the edge, because you are going to lose some of the edge off the sides of the books. And I wanted to have plenty of margin there. Now, the other thing you need to notice is this came all the way out to the middle. Notice that middle line. I don't want it to come all the way to the middle. And that is because the middle of this piece of artwork is actually going to be the center of this spine. So I have to leave space for this spine. And this is about 1 centimeter thick. So I am just going to drag this over some like such. And I'm going to make sure I've got it. There we go. Now I've got it in there. Right there. 2201 is kind of halfway. So I'm bringing it back to 2079 pixels. So that's about where I'm going to space that for the back cover. And then I'm going to add a picture. I need it to be an image so I can just place it on there. Like, look, I can bring this image over, place it right there. And then you can come over, you can add the text like we had picked, add the text up above. You can make it larger. That is how I created my book cover. So if you want to create something in Canva, you need to start with the size of 5,000 pixels by 3,000 pixels. And that's going to transfer over and give you margin for bleed around the edges, which is what BookWright is going to want you to have. This is my short stories cover that I have here. I am going to start with this. This picture, I am going to replace because I have a student who made a picture which is really well done. The picture she made me has a white background instead of black. I want to have a white background. And then this picture, okay, well, that worked. I just deleted it. So I want to add a photo. Here we go. Uploads. I need to upload a file. Here we go, book cover right there. All right, uploading that. I'm gonna put that on the front along with the actual title. We picked a title in class for our short stories book. I don't like calling it Challenge Me Anthology because that's what everybody calls it. And so we kind of get creative each year and we brainstorm some different short stories titles. And I've just Googled some before. Some of my favorite titles are like 12 very short stories or book of stories, things like that. Some more sounding ones like you would actually get at a bookstore. All right, so I've got this artwork and I've got to shrink it. Where is the middle? There's the middle. All right, I want to shrink it so it's to the middle because that is going to be half. I think that's right. Some of this I'm losing the printing area. I can't remember how it works. Actually, I'm going to bring it down just a little bit more because I do have the spine in here that I have to accommodate for. Of course, I'm going to print my sample book, so if anything is wrong, I can fix it then. All right, I need to put a title on here. So I'm going to add text. Let's see, what kind of text do we want? I'd like to pull a color out of here. That's kind of a fun one. I do kind of like that. Let me just start there. All right, so the title we voted on was The Greatest Sigmas Make the Greatest Stories. I think that is so funny. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here. How do I want to split this up? The greatest sigmas, and I think I'm going to size that down. No, if I go wider, I'm going to have to shrink it. Okay, so I need to take the font down. Let's take this down to 200. There we go. That works better. The greatest sigmas. All right. I'm going to zoom in here. There, got it. I click on the line down below. Oh, that's not what I wanted to happen. All right, there we go. Make the greatest sigmas make the greatest stories. And I'm going to take this size down. Let's try 90. Great, it fits. All right, I'm trying to decide if I like that. I think I do like it. I think I want to match the colors to this photo. So I'm going to click here. It's going to give me photo colors that I could, ooh, I kind of like that one. Match it to. That one's kind of nice too. That definitely matches. I wish we had more photo colors. Let me see how I like that. I kind of like that brown. The greatest sigmas make the greatest stories. I'm very happy with that. Okay, I'm probably just going to leave it like that. Let me see. Did I put, yes, I did put written by Challenge B. I'd love to add another line of text just right underneath that. I could always do it underneath the picture. I'm just not sure. I might try it both places. You know what I might do? I'm going to add another one of these, bring it down here. I'm going to delete the super part, keep this font, spread this out. I'm going to change the font so that it either matches or is smaller than what we had up above. Yeah, I kind of like that. All right, I want to center this. All right, that's where they like it. Centered. Yeah, I like it. I like how it matches. I like how it gives something down below. I think I'm going to go with that. I am no graphic designer by any means. All right, over here, I'm going to change this font to the same brown. I like that brown color that is coming out of the picture that she created. Now, the only thing that I have left to do is these quotes right here on the back are actually quotes that we got from the students last year. I need to get new quotes from the students. I'm going to text everyone and see who wants to turn in a sentence. And I do not wait for everybody to do this. What I will do is I will send a group text out. And then by the time I get the 2 documents I need from the other 2 students, whoever has responded, their quote will go on the back of the book cover. It'll look something like this, and I will not wait for any other quotes. That's why there's only 6 on this one instead of 11. It's just whoever gets it to me. I had 5 students turn in quotes, and so I have just copied and pasted all of them into a Google Doc. I finish each quote with 4 dots and then the title of the story so that if someone sees it on the back cover, they can find the story that they want to read. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to zoom in. I am simply going to copy and paste the quotes from the Google Doc. So I'm going to copy all of these, and then I'm going to take these over into Canva, and I'm going to paste the new quotes in there. And then I have used a centered formatting, and everything fits in there perfectly. They actually take up the exact same amount of space. So we've got the same color, we've got the font, everything is ready to go. These are fonts that I had picked out in the past, and I really like them. So now I am finished All right, this looks wonderful to me. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and click share. I am going to download, and I download it as a PNG. It is downloading right now, and then I will upload that to BookWright. Okay, short stories book cover. It's going to go right into the folder that I need. I'm going to add the word Canva there so that I can tell that apart. I'm going to go back to BookWright, and I'm going to go to photos and upload the new photo that is in here. Here it is. Now I'm going to take this photo and drag it and drop it right there. It fits awesomely. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so I can see it a little bit better. But absolutely, this is going to look great. This shows me where the spine is. I can see the edges here are actually centered pretty well. Now, sometimes you'll run into, once the book is printed, like this white square went evenly around all the edges when it showed up in BookWright, but after I got it printed, it was adjusted wrong. So this was my proof copy that I printed for myself. And so I just keep the one with all the mistakes in it. And then after I proof it and make any changes that need to be made, I go back and order the 12 copies for my entire class. And that is what BookWright recommends that you do. Okay. That is good to go. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you can just put a hearts in the comments below, that means the world to me. And as soon as I get part 5 edited and finished, I will have it posted here. This is going to be reviewing your book, sending it off to the publisher, and making sure everything is ready to go and perfect.